Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Osayome Sale, and today I'm joined. We have an August visitor amongst us today. She knows herself.
Yes, it's true. Somebody that doesn't feature on Friday.
No, she doesn't.
Yes.
But we have Uti Elu in the building.
Friday. You're very welcome.
Thank you. I try not to add pressure to my Friday. Yeah.
No, we're happy to have
We're
you.
happy to have you. You know, she's our guest for today.
Happy to be here.
Oh, well, welcome me too now. Please. Welcome
I
me.
have not finished.
Thank you.
The delectable, the gorgeous, fine girl, no pimples.
No, this is the literal no people.
No pimple. Eke doesn't need makeup to go anywhere. Eke, how are you doing?
This one is okay. I had some sort of break because I had a flu, and then I went to change my dental braces. I had a new position for my back, which I'm not wearing today. Sorry, Dr. Amy, but it was a painful week. But I'm glad we're coming towards the end of the week. Yeah.
That's nice. This is our braces.
Don't worry.
This
It's
one.
worth it. It's going to be worth it.
Abi?
I have my Hollywood smile.
Hey. Right. Hollywood smile. All right, so today we're discussing businesses. Customers should be all over the place trying to push your business all out because you're delivering excellent service. All right, small and medium scale enterprises operating in Nigeria need to pay greater attention to business intelligence in their quest to survive and deliver impactful products and services in the country. So what are some of the challenges they face in delivering excellent service, and how can they build a system of excellence with the unique business terrain that we have in Nigeria? You must always put Nigerian terrain. So Lekon is here to discuss this, but first we'll take a break to see what we found in the news. All right, you're still watching Ways now. Even before Shakespeare, lawyers have routinely gotten a bad rap for the kind of work that they do. Opened as the sum of all evil, and often the subject of some very unflattering metaphors. Over time, lawyers have become the butt of some of the most well-known jokes around. But lawyers also serve very important purposes. At their best, lawyers are helpful and useful to the society at large. That's why Love Your Lawyer Day was created, to help you to love your lawyer. Without them, some things cannot happen. So.
Well, I should have sent me this so that this morning I'll give my brother a hug.
Oh, he's a lawyer.
In case you need anything, come. Don't look for my trouble. But, but you're right. You know, lawyers they still have it bad because, you know, the people that defend evil people too are lawyers. So what do you expect?
All sides.
All sides. And, you know, they don't actually, I think they have apathy for these things. You know, it's a job to them. And you that have emotional feelings, you just feel how can, you know. So I understand why people would want to see lawyers like that. But at the end of the day, when you need them, you always need a good one to be on your side.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. But I mean, the only thing I'll add to that is this day might not be so significant in other countries as it will be in Nigeria. In Nigeria, even a bus conductor has a lawyer. It's in this country, I need that people just throw the phrase around. I'm just going to call my lawyer. Or I'm about to go into a meeting with my lawyer. I'm thinking, am I a business? Am I a corporation? But everybody, you know, lawyer and doctor in Nigeria, they're the same. Everybody got them.
I didn't think people were serious having like personal
Well,
lawyers.
even if you don't have, so you know, it's one of those things that gives a sense of importance and prestige. You know,
people
you have
say,
a lawyer.
You know, maybe because I work in the customer space, I hear it all the time. You
Oh.
hear from my lawyer. You hear from my lawyer.
Oh, now I understand.
Why everybody got to have a lawyer? I'm not a criminal. I don't believe I run. I'm like, why?
Oh, now I understand.
Everybody has a
Everybody
lawyer.
has a lawyer.
My doctor.
Do you
Or my
know?
doctor says, and it's so personalized. You know, it's
No, but the one that everybody has is my pastor. Okay, moving on. Who are we starting
Who
with?
can be a lawyer of sorts? But I'm not going to
Well,
I'm not gonna go
true. All right, so lawyers, we love you. Keep doing the great job that you're doing. All right, so who are we starting with? Uti, let me come to you. Your story.
I love my story. You know, I read this story this morning and my mouth was like, and of course, people do not take, Nigerians, you need to read stories. First of all, let's let's not just read the headline.
But the headline is sensational,
Headline.
you must agree.
So that, I mean, the media is here to sell papers. They're here to sell the news. And they've got to catch your attention. So the headline did its job. But people, the devil is in the detail. So please read. Now, my headline says, CBN spends 58.6 billion, that's B with a billion with a B, boy, to print 2.5 billion naira. Now, please, people, he said naira notes, not naira. Because I spent the whole day laughing today. People have abused. Do they think we're mad? Do they think we're crazy? So this story basically is a bit of a good one, and it's a mixed one. So when we talk about cashless, this is one of the reasons why we need to pay attention. So it says the Central Bank of Nigeria spent the sum of 58.618 billion to print 2.518 billion naira notes. The total value of those naira notes is actually almost 1.1 trillion in 2020. This is actually a reduction from the cost in 2019, where 75 billion was actually spent. So we're going in the right direction. We're showing that our cashless policies mean that we're printing less money. But overall, the thing that I think was a bit of a contradiction for me was that when you go further into the story, it talks about the currency in circulation. There are still more naira notes in circulation this year than there were last year. So there's still a lot. There's still a long way to go.
Have a part to play in that.
There was inflation at one part where it was talking about, it wasn't Forex, there was something else. Currency processed, I think it was, where it sort of mentioned that. But the story is an interesting one. People just need to read it and not get thrown off by the headlines. But the fact is we're spending a lot on printing these notes. The cashless policy, it has so many benefits, right? And I know that financial inclusion, we still talk about people who are underbanked or unbanked, as the case may be. But again, all the entrepreneurs out there, this is a road in for you to find a product that sells. I mean, our unicorns, Flutterwave, Paystack, these are all companies that are trying to solve financial solutions in a cashless way. So
absolutely.
I think our story is kind of related. And thank you for taking that story, because I also, saw the way people were jumping up and down. I usually am very slow to comment with all these things, very, very slow to comment on this. But then I was like, just as Uti said, you read it and then you have no understanding. Yes, the advocacy for the things. So thank you.
Twitter and even the comments on this.
It was crazy. The comments were crazy.
And I hope that someone has shown some sort of enlightenment to people.
They will listen to Uti.
People don't want to hear.
Right, exactly. So my story kind of laced with some financial literacy is that CBN issues approval in principle to MT and Airtel for PSB services, that is Payment Service Bank. And why this is interesting to me is because it is in my industry, my 9 to 5. Okay, so, and all is in a bid to, not just expand, but solve this problem of financial inclusion. Now, why, I look at it in two sides, from two angles. Number one, what happened to banks? So traditional banks really have to wake up. Because in as much as we are preaching financial inclusion, which, I think the number of mobile phone users are more than the number of banked individuals. But I think that they will still struggle for the same needs. It is the same people that are banked. So this is my problem. I really hope that, granting them this, so this is in principle, they will have to fulfill some obligations to be able to get the operating license. But I really hope that it will spread and it will really help the issue that we have with identification and all that. But will it really? For me, it's in stratas and it's in levels, because for us to really cure financial inclusion, we now have to solve that identity problem. But for you to have a registered SIM, you must have some sort of identity. So it's different layers for me. One is for the financial institutions to know that the market is it shrinking? The one that all of us are dragging is shrinking, but down really. Because
the building, the 21-story building that collapsed on Gerald Road in Ikoyi. So this is just to, the vice president is saying that this building, he's not the owner of the collapsed building. And this was said through his media aide, that's Laolu Akande. In a statement today, he also debunked the report that his boss intervened with the regulatory authorities in Lagos State to unseal the property, because they had said the property was not unsealed by Lagos State government. Instead, that order came from the federal government. So there's still so much coming out of this collapsed building. As of today, 40 people are dead.
Wow.
right? 40 are dead and many injured. So we are hoping that the real situation comes out when this panel that was set up by the Lagos state government truly do their work and investigate. But
Yeah.
this is just to put it out there that the vice president has come out to debunk that, that ownership of that structure, and saying that there was no such thing about him authorizing or the federal government authorizing them on sealing the building. All right, so we're going to take a break now. We're discussing businesses and delivery of excellent services. But stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the need to grow Nigeria's SME base has remained topical concerns. The potential impact of SMEs has remained topical concerns on the potential impact on SMEs to the economy. A research report published by professional service firm PwC suggests that at present, SMEs contribute 48% of Nigeria's gross domestic product, accounting for 96% of businesses and 84% of employment. Despite the significant contribution of SMEs to the Nigerian economy, challenges still persist that hinder the growth and development of the sector. In a country like Nigeria, where there are a number of challenges, if you're trying to build a multinational company that delivers excellent service, where would be the right place or the good place to start from? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So we're going to give the floor to our customer engagement experts to start. Uti, so businesses, we've seen this, we talk about this almost every single day. I mean, both of us went into a store, we placed an order. The order was supposed to come out in 2 days. This is almost 2 weeks now, or more than 2 weeks. No form of communication and all of that. And this is supposed to be a business that is thriving. You know, so every time you go into small businesses in this country, you just see that that gap. You know, that excellence is not there. That service delivery is not there. Why is that so?
So the Cliff's Notes version is there's an absence of thought towards it. When I say absence of thought, it's deliberate thought. You know, I always say that one of the most common misconceptions is that anybody can do service, because most times that's where people start their jobs. They start in contact centers or as sales girls or, you know, salespersons in stores. You always find that for business owners, the focus is always on the product. The focus is, what's my marketing strategy? What does my business plan say? The idea for most people is that if I get all of that right, then the customer will come. But the reality of it is, I mean, it's not to say that doesn't work, but what that then creates is this experience that you're talking about. There's a lack of thought. So it's like, I'm going from point A to point Z, but I've only thought as far as how I will get to point P. So you find that most businesses, quality, price, volume, how will I sell, how will I get customers? That whole, and we always throw that, you know, most people are familiar with the 80-20 rule now, but the reality of it is you need to focus on getting more business from your existing customers. It's actually quite expensive to acquire customers. Getting people to walk through your doors, getting people to listen to you sell and pitch a new product to them can be difficult. And even more difficult in today's world where the plethora of options is no joke. You know, you are talking about competition now not just being the guy down the road. Today you can order this glass from China, you can order it from the US.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in Nigeria, you can order it. So the fact is, understanding that your competition is now global. Globalization is doesn't matter the size of your business. You know, people might say, oh, but it's food. There is a fish market in America that ships fish worldwide. Fish.
Okay. Quickly.
For me, I think that why bad behavior persists, especially in our environment, is because nobody knows how to do better. Well, I promise you, by the time some people start getting it, because we're not feeling the effect, in places where customer reviews actually work, you will see business actually dying because of bad reviews. By the time we start getting it here, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is almost the same, so you just have to cope with bad behavior. But by the time we start getting it right, and you know that you can get better service, maybe at almost the same or cheaper price, people will start setting up.
Isn't it to teach the customers first what better service is?
Because when you're bringing our guests,
when toxic relationship with
exactly.
So Akambi Olalekan is a banker, entrepreneur, and Advent BBQ lover. He's a barbecue lover. His passion for grills birthed the Bazi Special Barbecue, a successful barbecue business that has you hooked for life once you taste it. Leko is a friend of the house, and we're super honored to be hosting him tonight on Ways. Welcome, Leko.
Thank you.
By the way, he bribed me tonight with barbecue, just to throw that in, but thank you so much. Just kidding, no, he did not bribe me. But thank you so much. I mean, you heard our conversation on excellent service delivery. So I hear Uti clearly, right? And I know that sometimes at some point is no longer in the hands of that business owner, that delivery. Do you understand? Case in point was what we went through yesterday.
Exactly.
You know, but tell me, as a businessman, right, how easy is it for you to deliver excellently to your customer?
Let me start by saying thank you for having me on the show. I've always worked back home, but it's different being here in the studio with everyone. And thank you so much. To your question, I'll answer two ways. There's the ideal situation and there's the real situation. So as a businessman or as a business person, when you're putting your numbers, crunching your numbers and expecting that the business will go this way, a lot of times that is possible. But most of the times, the things that pull you back are things you never saw coming. Case in none, like we experienced yesterday night. You ordered something, we had it sent out 45 minutes before when you wanted it to be sent out, but it still got to you 2 hours afterwards. The challenge at times doesn't really lie with the core business, because it's like a supply chain system. So you have, you backward integrate with some people, you forward integrate with some people. So a simple example would be, when we make the barbecue, we need to ship it out. We've got delivery companies that we send it to. Every delivery company you call will tell you, we'll have it delivered quickly at a very reasonable price. But what we find out most times is, you send this stuff out, it takes 2 hours before somebody covers a distance of 10 kilometers. And because you're in Lagos, everybody blames it on traffic. But the reality is, it's not traffic. I mean, yesterday, someone left that same location in the car to VI and got to VI before the barbecue that was riding on the bike got to VI. So you understand those are some of the challenges you face and you have to deal with. It's a lot of stress on you as a business owner. At times, even the people you work with, I mean, you train people. One of the things I've come to realize is you have to be passionate about what you do, because all these curveballs can easily throw you off guard. I mean, you spend time, you invest time and resources in training people. They feel they've learned enough and they just take off. But in reality, they really don't know much. Everybody's trying to make money, but what they should be after is creating value. If people understand that in creation of value, then money becomes a byproduct, then things will change.
Quite interesting. So I was going to ask, very typical situation that you have just talked about.
Is we try to create some slack in the sense that, okay, maybe customer is expecting delivery within a certain time. We try to let them understand it might take a little longer. So I want this thing in 15 minutes. We'll be honest with you to let you might not get it in 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. But if you get it in 15 minutes, we'll have exceeded your expectation. If you get it in 10 minutes, we'll have done better. But if you get it in 20 minutes, it's still within the time frame that we have given you. Also, we try to work with people who are like-minded. So somebody who has set up a company. Now, the good companies that do some of these things around, let's be honest with ourselves. But the cost implication for some small-scale business is also one thing we need to consider. So, I mean, if somebody orders a barbecue package of about 1,500, and I need to send it to the person in VI, I know good delivery companies that will take it for about 1,500 or 2,000 naira. But the point is, will people be willing to pay 2,000 for a meal that costs 1,000 naira? So that's the disparity that you have to deal with. That now takes you to have to deal with that Mr. Wasiu or Mr. Chukuma who's riding his bike on his own and who tells you, I'm on my way there right now, but he leaves your store and goes to the next place looking for more business because he's also trying to maximize his own profit. I mean, he's going to VI. Why would I take just one package to VI and to get maybe 3-4 more packages? So we see them around. They'll park in the place or working on their phones, looking for orders to join with yours to maximize their investment in maybe their motorbike or in their fuel or whatever it is they're doing. But ultimately, you just have to keep striving. But one good thing about it that I've noticed is increasingly people are becoming more aware. People are becoming more interested in excellent service delivery. And for those who are able to get it right, they will do a lot better.
Uti, over to you.
Okay, so I'm asking questions?
Yes, you are.
All right. I would say for me, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm trying to go somewhere, right? When you started your business, what was your approach to excellent service delivery? So do you have a customer strategy? Do you have a customer experience vision for your business? I mean, like I said, not to put you on the spot.
Because you're the expert. Can you just say who you are first?
How far have you thought about it is what I want to ask. Because it's important for an entrepreneur to be able to talk about his experience so other people can connect. Because I can say it from my, I know, but let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
No, because you have dealt with a lot of businesses and you know that they don't have that strategy in place.
This is good. My kids always eat it and make me feel like it's good, even though compared to where we are now, that wasn't so good. You understand? But shortly towards the end of the first major lockdown, my in-laws came around and they liked it. And like, okay, we started talking about doing it as a business and taking it more seriously. So I continued to try and error here and there, and it got better. It got better. Sometimes this year we decided to open a major outlet to start serving customers full time. Now, because of the passion that I have for the business or that I have for barbecue, it drives you to strive for excellence. I mean, there were things we tried that we felt this wasn't good enough, and we literally tossed it. I mean, I can't count. You have to keep striving. You have to keep going for it. It's not something that just stops at any point in time. So basically, what we try to do, or what we tried to do from the onset, was to say, okay, this is how we want to run our business, and these are our expectations. This is this kind of service delivery we want to render to our customers: good food, excellent delivery, packaging, and all of those. So we put some of those things into consideration. Some areas we took for granted are beginning to show up, in all honesty. Like, we just expected that you call the dispatch man, the food gets to the customer on time. Those kind of things are beginning to show up. Your supply chain is also very important. So you call your cold room, I need a few cartons of this, a few cartons of that. Oh, we'll have it with you in the bit. And you don't get
They
it.
don't show up.
Then also we've had experiences whereby we pay people for things and your money is gone, but the service or the product never arrives. Then you have to have the plan B and all of that. So we're learning quite fast. We're learning to adjust to, but we're not lowering our standards to the point that we just now take what the society has to offer. Because I believe if you make demands of the society and of your suppliers and of your staff, then things will generally improve. Basically, we like to believe that it is what you allow to happen that actually does happen. If you set your standards high and you go for it, then even those that are not at that level will have to come up to that level. It's not easy, I must be honest with you. There are times I look at my phone and it's one customer, there's some chats I only want to read once because the feedback is not good. But I mean, what do you do at that point? You can't be discouraged, just keep going for it and you set your mind on the ultimate goal. Our vision is not something small, it's something huge. We want to take over the space.
Something huge.
It's something, we want to go global at some point in our career. So it's not something we're taking lightly. So we know that even though we're serving maybe the Lagos market now, or maybe the Nigerian market now, at some point we have to go beyond that scope. So our standards have to be set to meet the standards of the climate and the societies in which we want to
I'm
function.
sure Uti is still thinking that he has not mentioned it, but let's go and drink water. We're coming back. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I know he has not answered it.
And it brighten, make everybody be wonder. Waiting because I'll be shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay, slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair, gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly, you know they tango. Lie, gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Thanks for staying with us now. If you just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat with Leko on building SMEs with excellent service delivery. Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. I don't know how long I'll keep repeating this. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we don't take calls. Somebody has been calling this WhatsApp line. Please just send a message. We don't take calls on the days we have guests. All right, so Uti, I know you did not, so what you did, you set Leko up on a trap and he just...
But I needed him to do that because when typically you have conversations like this, our viewers may be watching and they may think, oh, I have a plan for my customers. I'm doing great. And then you ask them the question, and typically this will be the response. So it's not a bad response. But I wanted him to give it so that people would then connect. Then we can say, look, how about you think about it this way? Most businesses in Nigeria, particularly on the SME level, and this is the expert in that space, so I'll leave that to come back there. We come from either a place of looking for side income, or having a passion for a product, or just
survival.
In Nigeria, exactly. Thank you. I was going to say that in Nigeria, you need multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Now, those are all great places to start a business. So this is a man that loves barbecue, and in other parts of the world, it's a religion. But he loves barbecue, and he's turned that passion into a profitable business. So when he started speaking, he kept talking about the product, how we fine-tuned it, how we made it better, how it was a quality thing, it was a standards thing, which is not bad. But when you do that, right, tomorrow, if one of your staff runs off with your secret recipe and your barbecue is elsewhere, then you're back to square one. So the idea is you kind of have to start, and I'm trying to remember that Steve Jobs quote, where you start your design from the customer. So if I was going to
Design
answer
thinking.
this question from the perspective referring to his business, then I would say, where is the problem? Every business is you fixing a problem that then brings money. So the question when you focus on the customer is, what is the problem that I'm solving? So before I tasted his barbecue, I'm also a barbecue lover, right? Before I tasted his barbecue, our typical grills is a common thing in Nigeria. But our grills is the same. We grill catfish with the same spice. We have suya. We have grilled chicken. You know, we have grilled awo and all these different things. But they all taste the same. To a very yaji is yaji. There might be good yaji, bad yaji, but yaji is yaji. You know, so in that sense, when you think about this kind of product, I say to myself, okay, all these people that are tired, what can I give them that's different? Then you start from there and you say, okay, what are my options? Okay, now I have this passion. So when that mindset starts from there, the approach in the business is different. So those things that you said you're now paying for, which is like the delivery issue, would be some of the things that you would fine-tune just as hard as you were fine-tuning the product. So that's where we kind of need to look at it, where what does water mean? I'm going to drink water. Why am I drinking water? I'm thirsty. Now, when I go to thinking about what causes my thirst, I start to think about, do I just want to serve you water? Do I want to serve you water at so and so temperature? Or sparkling water, or do I want to put lemon in? All these things, exactly, they all change that experience. But we have to be willing to think that way. So there's a common example that we use in our space. You go to the store to buy a drill. Why did you buy the drill? I'll ask. If you went to buy a drill today, why would you buy a drill?
Because I needed to do something, to fix something at home.
To fix something at home, like what?
My door hinges come off.
Okay, so your door hinge came off.
Yeah.
So that's why you bought the drill.
Yes, I want to do it myself.
You want to do it yourself?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's expensive to go and call someone experienced to do it for me.
Okay. So it's expensive for you to...
SME 101 class.
So it's expensive for you to fix it, one. So that's one need. So there's money. That's one. What else? Why do you need to fix the door?
Because I want it
We need the door to be locked.
Safety. Functional.
Safety. That's another thing. So you see that we've come away from the drill. Now we're talking about
solution.
Needs.
Absolutely.
That's where you have to start. That's how granular you need to
Lekon is
go.
meeting solution. Don't worry.
My solution.
You know what I said to him?
Yeah.
And hearing you speak, I'm seeing a billionaire. So let me just take autograph now, just in case. You know, because there is something different. You know, because, you know, I was saying to him that these days when I'm thinking Christmas food, when I'm thinking Easter, when I'm thinking any holiday, Salah, whatever, I don't want to cross meat.
She's thinking.
I'm just thinking, cook the rice, call it cook. Do you understand? Because he has he's been able to take off that burden from and I know a lot of people that order, you know, from him just like that, like I would order, because he's been able to solve that problem, right? So I was just going to ask him. So what's the biggest challenge for you in your business? Because we have a customer experience expert. Make sure we're in SME class now. You know, what's the biggest challenge for you as a business? Is it the delivery part? Because you have actually perfected the product to some extent.
Thank you.
Is the delivery the biggest issue in Nigeria that you see, you know, that would affect the kind of business that you do, or is there more?
So I'll answer your question this way and say I wouldn't put the entire blame solely at the foot of the delivery people, but it's almost everything that is not under our direct control. So when you come into our outlet, or from start to finish, our processes have been standardized. So I can tell you from forces you can't control. An example, 30 minutes before the pen goes, oh, I'm sorry, I left my phone in my bag, or I left it charging in one corner, and all of that. And things are seasonal. So let me give an example. We make a very good ram barbecue, as you can attest to. And
oh no, you have eaten my money in this life.
Thank you for your patronage. It's high time I say that.
Meanwhile, we pay. Oh, don't think we're just patronizing him. We pay.
We are full-time marketers of the business.
In fact, we are waiting for Christmas bonus.
We're going to have faithful customers end of year bonus at the end of the year. So during Salah, for instance, is a good example. I mean, you buy an average ram for maybe 70, 75,000, then it almost doubles. How do you adjust to such prices? I mean, because you can't turn that cost over immediately to your customer. If you try to create a buffer, so maybe you know Salah isn't too much, you start to buy rams now. I've tried some of these things. The cost of feeding rams is also something you need to consider. Yeah, the space to keep them. I mean, then the people who take care of these rams are used to it. You are not used to it. It's not something you really understand. I mean, you give the ram grass and it starts to poo all over. Then you're wondering what is going on. You feed it in the morning, it starts to lose weight. You give it water. So at some point, you slaughter the ram and freeze it, that kind of stuff. So basically, it's at times, but it's a learning curve. And that is one of the things. That's one of the things we've come to appreciate, that no experience is negative to us. We look at the experience critically, we review it, where can we improve, what can we do better. So even in the delivery system, for instance, when we started, we used to call it 15 bikes. Let the people who specialize in that do just that. So those are some of the things that we have to do.
So it means you have to collaborate with the right partners.
You have to collaborate with the right partners, exactly.
Let me salute that decision, because you know why I'm saluting it? Because that's where a lot of small businesses get it wrong. You forget your main focus and your main business, which is to deliver food, and then you start running a transportation business. Because that is it. Yeah. Because once you include that, you need to have a reasonable number to make sense.
Yes.
Now, there is the human capital management of those people.
Exactly.
And then there's a management of that asset.
Of even the assets.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So I would say congratulations on not falling into that trap, because I've seen people that do that. Thank you very much. My next question is going to be feedback, customer feedback. How do you, have you developed a mechanism where you collect, process, and then impute that into your business? How does it work for you as a small business? Because I know that you just said your business is less than 2 years old, and people will want to listen to how does a small business do it. They're very familiar with hearing corporations or bigger business have customer feedback and all that. How do you do it as a small business? And let me just chip in the part B. How do you handle difficult customers? So we've been saying...
So when we get feedback from customers, it comes from a positive or a good place. I remember a few weeks ago, I was out of town, and they made a batch of grills, and normally we use what we call smokers. So it doesn't just cook the food, but it infuses the taste of smoke into your meat. But that day somehow, I don't know what they decided to do, but they cooked over direct charcoal. It was good product, tender, but it didn't have that taste of the smoke. So a customer bought and swiftly turned back to the store and said, "What's going on here?" and all of that. It was livid. He actually, my manager was chatting me and trying to, he's my friend, but I mean, he was very livid, like, this is not supposed to be. And the next minute I got a call from him, "No, these people will ruin your business. Tell them they must put the smoke, they must put the smoke." And he was thinking, why would someone like smoke so much? Because he didn't understand why. But that's part of what people buy in the taste of the food. So I had to let her understand. I apologized to the customer. Sometimes we even offer to say, "Okay, we'll give you another batch, or we'll refund money, then maybe your next purchase will make it better," and all of that. But they go, "No, that's not, we just want you to keep your standards, we want you to keep improving." So it's not about, "Oh, I've gotten something not up to par with what I expect from you this time around, and I'm not buying from you at all." You find customers, even classic example, we messed up somebody's order, and I felt like, okay, that's it, we're not going to hear from the person again. But the very next day, we got a call from somebody who was having a party and said, "Oh, this person referred you to me," even though just the day before we messed up the order. So I mean, our customers come from maybe because we put that personal touch to it. We try to speak with you, understand what you want. People have called us and said, "I want this, I want that." I mean, we've had customers say, "I want 40 packs of lunch packs," and I say, "Are you having the party?" And go, "Yeah, I'm having a party, I want to feed 40 people." Okay, rather than not buy 40 packs at 1,500, why don't you buy a tray? Would you give you about the same quantity for lesser? And those kind of advice endears our customers to us. The ones that have been somewhat difficult to deal with, they could scream, they could shout, but somehow they keep coming back. So I don't know whether it's the taste of the food.
So let Uti, since she's the customer experience.
I think somehow you infused the answer into what you were saying, which is, for me, what I picked out was your personal touch and also the value service that you offered. Because I know you had done that. I had my daughter's party. I called you. Forget that we're friends. But he gave me advice, and I appreciated it. See, I'm sorry if you're listening. I don't patronize friends just because you're my friends. I work hard for my money. So I look for good product. I'm not joking. I look for good product. I look for good service. I have some friends that have terrible products. I will never, but I'm sorry, but I don't do that, okay?
It's your
I'm
money
very
now.
sorry. It's my money. What I was saying is that what he did for me was the fact that, and I found out that he didn't do that from a friendship point of view. He did that from a professional point of view. He was like, what do you want to do? How many people are you expecting? Do you just want this kind of meat? I can make it this type. And just offering me that professional service alone,
options.
I was very proud. So I have a friend that knows what he's doing. So,
Thank you.
But I want to
thumbs up.
say that, are you documenting? Because I think this is where Uti, you know, why do people come to my store? They can go to anywhere and pick up. It is that counsel. You don't just walk in. It's not a supermarket. You just walk in, pick up what you want to buy. I sit you down. What exactly is your target?
Exactly.
What do you want to achieve? Do you want to take off blemishes from your skin and all of that? So I do that. I realized that I can be there. I might not have the product for 3 months. They will wait.
Yeah.
So they'll be calling me. You know, so I took it for granted, and I did not understand that was a very big part of why my business was successful, right? You don't. So if I was going to ask you now, these things you talk about, you know, how you give feedback, how you help guide your customers, because you're guiding them as to what exactly they want, and you show them better options. Are there like, have you put it like as part of the process in your culture, in your business? Because if it is in your culture, whether I'm not talking to you tomorrow, if I'm talking to your manager, she will do the same thing.
Yes.
You know, let it not be that because I'm talking to the boss, he's the one giving me the counsel. Have you done?
We opened the outlet, we've had maybe turnaround of staff, maybe like once or twice. Because what you find out is some staff are not willing to learn. That's the honest truth. They're just there to earn the salary, and no matter how much you try to get them to imbibe some of these things, they wouldn't. Stay in the kitchen, cook the food, let someone else do the cold picking. So you have to find ways of managing stuff like that. But even at that, we still give trainings quite regularly. Because what I've also come to realize in Nigeria is this, that people are somewhat stuck in their ways. So, I mean, people come to your kitchen, they want to work. They're used to doing things in their own kitchen in a certain way. And this is how they feel it should be done. I have staff argue with me to say, we want to fry chips. I mean, why do I need to? I bring out of the fridge or the freezer and I put it straight into the. I said, no, you need to let it set at room temperature.
That's a simmer.
Yeah, exactly. They just want that. And I tell them, if you fry it that way, the end product will be different. So let it come to room temperature. So if you want to fry
You'd have
chips,
brought it out a day before.
A day before, or even hours before, 2 or 3 hours before you put it into your fryer. But some people still struggle with that. Like, I mean, but you keep letting them understand this is how it's supposed to be done. Then also at times you need to get hands-on. That's the best way to teach people, because at times they feel it's a bit of stress. But when you go there and you do it yourself, they tend to feel like, okay, if you can do it, then I also can do it. I mean, so because this business started as a passion, I did most of the things by hand. My wife, my kids in support. I mean, the days will all be in the kitchen, mixing stuff together. So thank you very much, my beautiful wife and my lovely kids. I appreciate you for all your support. I know now we've got into that stage where we need to now recreate that in people. So far, so good. We have a couple of staff that are imbibing it quite well. Those who we give a bit of time that don't imbibe it, we have to let them go. But for those we're growing together as a business.
So Uti, if you had one advice to small businesses on service delivery, you know, what would you say should be the number one thing, or maybe a few things that they should put in place quickly?
Okay. We talked about lawyers today. And what is the key thing? Lawyers are advocates. Lawyers speak on your behalf. Your goal as a business is to connect. It's not about making money. Money will come. The right product, the right customer strategy, you will make money. You need to connect with your customers on a very emotional level. I love what you said about the customer who had a bad experience one day and the next day he
still recommended it. Yeah.
You will actually get stronger advocacy from customers who have had a bad experience that you've turned around than from customers who have always had a good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you always need to create an emotional connection with your customers. And for you to do that, you need to truly understand who your customer is. So the example that you gave, you said customers walk in the store. Now, somebody might have seen Ake's lovely skin and say, AK, where do you buy your cream? She buys from Uwa, right?
It just goes right
And
in.
I come straight to Uwa and I say, Uwa, I want exactly what you gave it to. And
like-
Uwa says, thank God, money has come.
No
And
way.
she just ships it off and gives the person. Now, you've not asked the customer anything. You don't know whether they have the same skin. You don't know whether they eat like AK, exercise like AK. You know nothing about them. Then you sell it, you buy it, and then the next thing you start hearing is fake. Or she sold
It's
me
not
rubbish.
working for
It's
me.
not working. Do you get what I mean? So the idea, first of all, is small business owners. You must have come to the store.
For you to do a
They
repeat
must have
purchase
bought
like
you
that.
the right size, because she says, look, I want people to wear my clothes. And people
I feel-
ask them,
okay, yeah.
where did you get it from? And then they say, come. So they see people say, but you sold to my friend. I just want what you gave her.
No,
No.
it doesn't work
You
that
need to
way.
come.
You're not your friend.
So that emotional connection is what you have to think of. So the idea that believing, we've always talked about the power of mindsets, believing in your mind that if I get it right with the customer, more customers will come.
Yeah.
Because cash flow is always, when you start thinking, I need more money, let me just quickly sell. You're not thinking about the long-term ripple effect.
Okay,
Can I-
Let me
You're
just
shouting
add,
in my ear.
let me
Okay,
just add a
quickly.
little thing. So to the SME out there, all this might sound a little bit too much, but 1 minute is that it's a journey. Start, begin, and you build it. That's what I would say.
Leko, quickly.
Final word? Final words will be anybody who's in business, always strive to create value. Money will always come as
Absolutely. Thank you
alongside.
so much. So, thank you, Leko. You've
Thank
been an
you very
amazing,
much.
amazing guest. Thank you, Uti, experts. Thank you, SME expert. Okay.
Do we
All right,
have
so
your
before we
permission to
go,
sign her up as our
Do a
consultant?
show. You follow us on Instagram is at Way Show Africa. Follow us also today because we're giving out. Did you guys see the picture I used for my photo shoot yesterday? So we're giving out 5 of those hair. There's a date. I mean, it's all posted on social media. That's the giveaway for 5 lucky viewers. You get to win this particular hair from Fab's signature. Then also remember we had Nancy on the show. The scholarship for $2,500. The program is up and running, so you can register. This is all for free. You're not paying a dime. All right, so make sure you do that. So the giveaway has started. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. That is a very interesting quote because it just ties to everything Leko has been saying. It says, just having satisfied customer isn't good enough anymore. If you really want a booming business, you have to create raving, as in they should be raving. The fans should be shouting. Go and buy Leko's barbecue.
Like all of us.
We'll see you guys on Monday as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.